Yo, bro, what's up? And here we're fighting Daedra. Stab them until they're dead. Kind of tactics. Now, let's perform some repairs. Nice. Novice Alembic, Calcinator, Morgon Pestle. Nice lab. Hourglass. Petty Soul Gem. Lesser Soul Gem. Elite Cask. Giant Skill Heavy Armor. Master of Talara. Volume 4. Terrifying Presence. Demoralize up to level 17 for 30 seconds. 2 Greater Soul Gems. And gold. Lots of gold. Very hard. It's very hard to miss such an opportunity. Got a ruffle killer deck and Guan that even unranked players don't GG you. Alright. Seems legit, no? What's that? That looks like we're missing a lever here. Oh shit. How do I stop it? Stop stinking, but
Oh!
did it really? Dead captive. Nothing is in there. Alright. Time to motor out of here. The stone. Trapdoor to the Great Forest. Fine. Okay, so that goes for Kea Tatar. And we're so fast that we can outrun a deer. I thought it was a bear, and that just was a stone. Gottlesfront Priory. Gottlesfront's house.
You have been told the way to reach Molag Bal. Do what you will.
Hey. You don't have the proper offering Molag Bal requires. Alright, let's go to the city. I mean, to town. It's finally morning. You found Narfinsel. Does this have an entrance? Yeah, it does. Well, it's not the time. We need to unload first and establish ourselves a new base of operations. What's that? Fort Ash? We haven't robbed such a fort yet. Because I surely remember that. maybe, just maybe, they'll crumble in mine. Just maybe they'll have some interesting quest for me. Because I suspect they will. Who the fuck are you? Stop right there, you criminal scum. I'm not yet that fast. Come on. Alright, time to catch some speed. Fortify, greater fortify, speed. Damn it. This almost has no effect. He will lead us, or she. Yeah, it's an ambush. Come on, just die already. Ha 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 ha. Go on, Wolfie. Woof woof. Посмотри на этого всадника. Привет. Как иностранный шпион. Мне бы ум острее немножко, и тогда был бы вообще Штирлиц. Я не знаю, в какую сторону они убежали. О, огр. Ты меня увидел. Ты меня увидел. Кого я ловлю? Бабу на коне? Я даже не знаю, это баба или мужик. Я просто хотел поговорить и прокачать немножко мастерство красноречия. Потом я увидел, как она бежит на засаду из монстров, и мне стало смешно. Я понял. Он хочет кулаками. Я тоже такой умею. То есть старик-отец, прежде чем покинул этот говёный мир, говорил: сына, не бегай за автобусами, женщину все равно не догонишь. За автобусами бегу. Я их догоняю. У меня, правда, друг, который потом на это смотрит, говорит: это ты так бежишь, как будто ты спер телевизор из магазина, и за тобой уже гонится полиция и собака. Тебя ведь... Он хотел честный бой, но его получает. Ну, почти честный. Он не сильно-то лечится. Ну, давай скажем, что эти зубы, которые мы из него вытащили, это просто то, что он выплюнул. А так мы его не убили. Да. Я так в третьем Ведьмаке диких животных просто пинал кулаками, потому что не хотел их убивать. Именно агрессивных. Неагрессивных мы не били. Интересно, тут можно эффективно убивать? Ты представляешь, да? Это делается при помощи стелса. Привет, Нардил. О, еда. Так, давай спросим у стражника, все ли окей. О, он здесь решил помочь. Давай, помоги мне. Думал, магия.
What a dumb joke. Gracious, what a hero. What a gracious. You don't waste your flattery on me. I can't. Sorry. Gracious, what a hero. I can't. You think I salute you. Most impressive. That works for me.
Пошли тырить. Или разговаривать, разговаривать. Тырить-то мы уже натырили. Не знаю, почему я ничуть не сильно хочу покупать лошадь. Расскажи нам последние слухи. Я бы хотел поговорить с герцогиней о том, чтобы купить дом. Потому что нам нужна очередная база. Как бы мы не используем телепорты и что подобное. Нам нужен дом. Если почему он здесь, то мы уже бесподобно богатые. Так, что у нас тут? The Oaken Crosshair. Окей. Так. Мы хотим направо. В замок. Побираемся по урнам. Ничего интересного.
State your business. We'll see.
Ага, окей.
Don't. Where'd you get that? That's good. Oh, please.
Oh, please.
Really? Interesting. Well, you. Oh, that's great. That's really too much. Don't waste your flattery on me. Oh, please. That's great. Really? Interesting. I see. The Oaken Crozier is a nice place, but that talisman seems rather stuck up to me.
Что у тебя против таласма вообще? Какие странные челы. Вот здесь стало больше охраны. Под ночь здесь почти нет охраны вообще.
Morning, sir.
Я бы даже не удивился, если бы какой-нибудь перец попытался меня тут гапануть.
That's enough.
Enough said.
So gracious. What a hero. What a gracious. You win this one. What a. I salute. I can't argue with that. You're good. Yeah. I don't understand what Listel is doing with Melinda Sankras. I mean, have you seen her? And have you seen him? I just don't get it.
Я не представляю людей, о которых ты сейчас говоришь, поэтому мне вот эти имена ничего не говорят. Какие-то сплетни, слухи о людях, которых ты вообще даже ничего не слышал в жизни. О, мы с тобой уже поболтали как-то. Счастливо. Великий зал замка Корл. Отлично. Время 11 часов. Мне нужно на прием. По случаю покупки дома. Посмотри на твои мышцы. Ты увидел мои мышцы. Он увидел мои мышцы. Да. Удивительно, что он вообще не увидел. Вот В том-то и проблема, что меня увидели.
I'm thinking of heading over to Renoir's to buy some books. There's quite a selection.
Окей. Читающие стражи.
Sir,
Стражи ботаников.
tell me more. You see,
Привет. Так,
Hello. Welcome to Castle Coral.
привет.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Countess Velga of Coral. I wish I had time to chat, but I'm afraid I'm in the middle of an investigation.
Занимается расследованием, но мне сначала нужен дом. Для того, чтобы сбить цену на дом, возможно. Давай сначала с тобой поболтаем.
You... No. Is that so? Good... What nonsense. Is that so? What nonsense. That's just talk. Good one.
Это просто разговор, но хороший. Расскажи мне про город.
We're a mountain people, tough, independent. County Coral is rich in mines and timber, wool and mutton, and hard-working people.
Горный народ. Я думал, горный народ это Брума.
Coral appears to be clean, prosperous, and well-ordered. Countess Ariana, her staff and guard, is to be praised.
Сначала давайте купим у нее дом.
You are. There is a positively gorgeous home for sale right on the main plaza. You'll be hard-pressed to find a nicer home for sale in Cyrodiil.
20 000 золота. Надо ее заромантить. Для кота это должно быть несложно. Ты думал, горный народ это тибетцы? Именно они самые. Так. 20 000 голды, так сказала. Ну, пошли, поехали.
It's a
По
pleasure to
рукам.
have you become a citizen of Coral. I'll take care of the deed.
Давай бабло не
Here is
жмись.
your deed. The house is
А
on
чем
the
мне
main
жаться? У меня
plaza,
такое количество
in
денег, что мне аж
section of the
стыдно.
chapel. The last tenant of Arborwatch has cleaned the place of furniture. I'd recommend stopping by Northern Goods and Trade. The owner, Cygnius, should have everything you need.
Так, теперь надо сохраниться и расспросить ее про ее расследование. Я уверен, что это какой-то квест.
Bye. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Countess Velga of Coral. I wish I had time to chat, but I'm afraid I'm in the middle of an investigation.
Тут где-то есть НПС с бесконечным баблом, баг, пасхалка от Тодда. Не, я еще не находил, что этот город приходил поздно ночью или посреди ночи. Фактически, первое, что я сделал, когда вошел в город, это побежал к герцогине покупать дом.
You seem the trusting type. Perhaps you can assist me. It seems someone has taken away an heirloom that is quite dear to me. I want you to help me recover a stolen painting. The painting was of my lost love, the Count Velga, and it has been stolen from my bedchamber. If you find the painting and bring the culprit to justice, you shall be justly rewarded. What say you?
What say ye? Yay or nay?
Very well. I suggest you begin to gather clues. And I warn you, do not accuse the wrong person, or I shall be quite cross with you. Here are some keys. They should allow you access to many of the restricted areas in Castle Coral.
О, ключи с доступом. О, можно кого-то обвинить уже. Я еще никого не знаю в этом городе, но уже можно кидаться обвинениями. Расскажи мне про картину.
The painting is all I have left that reminds me of the Count. I spend many a lonely night wishing that the words I speak to it will be heard and not just fall upon the lifeless pigments and canvas.
Что на картине изображено? Ну ты скажи, а? На, давай улики.
Your best bet is to speak to residents of the castle. Once you have found out all you can, search for physical clues.
Расскажи нам про жителей замка.
Chanel and Orgnolf both reside in the private quarters section. They have been restricted to remain indoors, so they should be easy to find. You may also want to speak to Bitneld, the captain of the guard. He can be found on patrol in Coral or in the barracks. Finally, I would try speaking to Orak Grogoth, who is my steward. He resides in the private quarters section as well. If he isn't in the castle, he may be at the Northern Goods and Trade, buying food to stock our larder.
Кто единственный, кто имеет доступ наружу? Расскажи нам больше про улики.
I was elsewhere at the time of the robbery, and the chamber was locked. The only other people who have had access to the chamber and were unaccounted for are the court mage, Chanel, and the porter, Orgnolf. Don't forget to check with Bitneld, the captain of the guard, my steward, Orak Grogoth, and my herald, Laith Wavrik.
Блин, ты знаешь, что надо стоять в плаще и записывать. Еще надо шляпу иметь при этом.
Good luck, investigator.
Потом выйти в дождь и сказать, я слишком стар для этого дерьма. Хейл.
Yes?
Хайль. Так. Улики.
I was with the Countess all evening. Didn't see a thing.
Ну ладно. Раз тут так.
Good day.
Так,
What
подожди.
do you-
Можно ли с собой повысить
Go
отношения? О, да, можно повысить.
You think that's funny? I wish
Да.
I could say
Это
that.
должно быть весело.
Whatever you want.
Да, все, что я захочу. Просто ткни мне на виноватого. Мы его жопу сразу закроем.
Yes, whatever you say. No. What a great story. Don't try. That's just not funny. Yes, what a great story. That remarkable. They say that when you murder someone,
Давай еще раз про улики.
I was with the Countess all evening.
Ладно. Теперь мы пристаем к тебе. Просто тыкать всех людей, которые поблизости.
Please, go on.
С ним очень плохо повышаются отношения. Ну ладно, давай расскажи нам про слухи.
Reynald Germain has terrible memory. We've met many times, but when I saw him in Cheydinhall, he walked right past me like we were strangers.
Ну-ка, расскажи нам про герцогиню.
The Countess is in attendance. Proper etiquette is expected.
Этикет? А невидимым быть это достаточно этично?
My duties rely on watching no more than the throne and attending to visitors. But confidentially, I will say that Orgnolf has been acting a bit unusual. His abuse of drink has gotten worse lately. He has taken to asking for money from others to purchase spirits. A porter's wage does not befit his habit.
Lately, Warwick, the castle herald, told me that he's observed Orgnolf having a drinking problem and often asking for money to fund his new habit. I should continue questioning the suspects to the Countess recommended. Да, давайте сделаем так, кину квестом. Отсюда мы уже сперли камень. Они не заметили. А вдруг это был я, кто спер картину? Не, фигня какая-то. А, можно я ломану эту дверь? Нет, ключом открыли.
Is there there a problem?
Да, мне надо с тобой поиграть в рулетку Тода.
I can't. Don't be silly.
Не глупи, да.
You
Если хочешь поиграть в рулетку Тода, то не глупи.
That's a bit. I won't
Довольно
fight.
высокого.
That's
Я
really funny.
не могу тебе точно сказать. По-моему, на предыдущем стриме я зачитал, но сразу забыл. Давай посмотрим. 41. Я слышал, что здесь максимум это 50 уровень. О, скорость на 99. Иллюзию надо прокачивать. О, да.
Anytime.
Эй, слышь,
What?
мотороллер?
Yes. Sure.
У меня ощущение, что я очень медленно
I
прокачиваю.
accept. I have no choice. I accept. I have
Блин.
good one. Don't. Please, I'm sorry. Sure. Don't waste your flattery on me. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Проклятие.
Whatever you want. That's pretty good. I doubt it.
Может, тут есть колесо для быстрой прокачки? А, не слышал.
That? Don't try. Whatever you want.
Даже не пытайся,
Don't
но делай, что
talk
хочешь.
such- Not no more. You're frightening me.
Ага, коленки трясутся, да?
I saw Romalis Briand walking his dogs today, and yesterday, and the day before. I swear that's all he does.
Может, его собачки находят ему золото, и он на это живет. Не подумали, ребят? Так, кто там ходит? Ты кто? О, Шанель. Номер 5.
Hello. You searching for something?
Да, это ты номер 5 или номер 1?
I'm listening. No. Well, is that so? Not. That's just talk. No, you do me too much. I wish I could say that. You're way. What a wonderful compliment. Not funny. Not even a little bit. You're revolting. You can't scare me. Please, I'm in bed. Really? Interesting. What a wonderful compliment. Not
Блин.
really. Interesting.
Так. Ну расскажи нам про спёртую картину.
The stolen painting was of Count Volga. Whoever painted it could not do the man justice. He was kind and noble, which is difficult to convey on canvas. I'm afraid other than that, I cannot offer much more information.
Так, расскажи нам слухи.
I wanted to get a little practice in with my sword, so I headed to the Fighters Guild. Turns out you have to be a member to train there.
Ой, тебя вытурили, да? Как неудачно. Расскажи нам про город.
We're simple, gods-fearing folk here in County Coral. Easterners worship their wallets and their fat bellies.
Так, расскажи нам про улики.
The night that the painting was stolen, I was in the courtyard of the castle taking star readings. After a while, I decided to go into the dining area just off the Great Hall. I poured myself some wine and studied the charts I had made until it was time to sleep. From there, I went directly to my chamber and slept the rest of the night.
Поговорим про расследование.
Yes, I have heard that the painting of the Count was taken. I was unaware she hired an outsider to conduct the investigation. May luck be with you.
Интересно, это сарказм или нет? When I asked about the night in question, Chanel told me that she spent some time in the courtyard of the castle taking out star readings. Then she made her way to the dining area of the Great Hall. Finally, she went to her quarters to sleep. I should continue questioning the suspects the Countess recommended.
Until your return.
Вроде ничего подозрительного, если, конечно, верить каждому слову. Если верить половине, то вроде тоже ничего. Тут есть золото? Нет золота. Не могу даже поспать в этой кровати. Ладно, ну до следующего уровня еще какое-то время. Trials of St. Alessia. Окей. Trials of St. Alessia. From the Trials of St. Alessia. Akatosh made a covenant with Alessia in those days so long ago. He gathered the tangled skeins of oblivion and knit them fast with the blooded sinews of his heart and gave them to Alessia, saying, "This shall be my token to you, that so long as your blood and oath hold true, yet so shall my blood and oath be true to you. This token shall be the amulet of kings, and the covenant shall be made between us, for I am the king of spirits, and you are the queen of mortals. As you shall stand witness for all mortal flesh, so shall I stand witness for all immortal spirits." Мне кажется, что это читал. And Akatosh drew from his breast a burning handful of his heart's blood, and he gave it into Alessia's hand, saying, "This shall also be a token to you of our joined blood and pledged faith. So long as you and your descendants shall wear the amulet of kings, then shall this dragonfire burn, an eternal flame, as a sign to all men and gods of our faithfulness. So long as the dragonfire shall burn, to you and to all generations, I swear that my heart's blood shall hold fast the gates of oblivion. So long as the blood of the dragon runs strong in her rulers, the glory of the empire shall extend in unbroken years. But should the dragonfires fall, and should no heir of our joined blood wear the amulet of kings, then shall the empire descend into darkness, and the demon lords of misrule shall govern the land. From the liturgy of the rekindling of the dragonfires. Я думал, что... я читал вот это. Да, я вот это сначала читал. Вот это я не читал. Секундочку. Не читал это. Оказывается, я читал это, но не это. Офигеть. The Amulet of Kings by Wenangrus Monhona. In the first years of the First Era, a powerful race of elves called the Aelids, or the Heartland High Elves, ruled central Tamriel with an iron hand. The high and haughty Aelids relied on their patrons, the treacherous Daedra lords, to provide armies of Daedra and dead spirits. With these fearless magical armies, the Aelids preyed without mercy upon the young races of men, slaughtering or enslaving them at their whim. On behalf of the suffering human races, St. Alessia, the first in the line of Cyrodiils, sought the aid of Akatosh, the dragon god of time, and ruler of the noble Aedra. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart and blessed St. Alessia with this blood of dragons, and made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion, and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving Aelids. In token of this covenant, Akatosh gave to Alessia and her descendants the Amulet of Kings and the eternal dragonfires of the Imperial City. Thus does Alessia become the first gem in the Cyrodiilic Amulet of Kings. The gem is the red diamond in the middle of the amulet. This is the symbol of the Empire, and later taken as the symbol of the Septim line. it is surrounded by 8 other gems, one for each of the divines. So long as the Empire shall maintain its worship of Akatosh and his kin, and so long as Alessia's heirs shall bear the Amulet of Kings, Akatosh and his divine kin maintain a strong barrier between Tamriel and Oblivion, so that mortal man need never again fear the devastating summoned hosts of the Daedra Lords. But if the Empire should slacken in its dedication to the 9 divines, or if the blood of Alessia's heirs should fail, then shall the barriers between Tamriel and the Daedric realms fall, and Daedra worshippers might summon lesser Daedra and undead spirits to trouble the races of men. Интересно. Но значит ли это, что это всего лишь вера? То, что врата Обливиона на самом деле уже открыты? Оргнов. Давай войдем в комнату главного подозреваемого. Уборщик. Винтажное вино. Йоу. О, ну к нам хорошо относится, значит мы с ним уже болтали. Это назад. О, настоящая Барензия. Все томики, по-моему, кроме 3-го и 5-го. Это классная книжка Ruins of Camel-Z. Да, это читал. Или надо еще раз проверить. Нет, не читал. An Overview of Gods and Worship in Tamriel by Brother Hedgefeld. Editor's note. Brother Hedgefeld is an associate scribe at the Imperial University Office of Introductory Studies. Gods are commonly judged upon the evidence of their interest in worldly matters. A central belief in the active participation of deities in mundane matters can be challenged by the reference to apparent apathy and indifference on the part of gods during times of plague or famine. From intervention in legendary quests to manifestations in common daily life, no pattern for the gods of Tamriel activities is readily perceived. The concerns of gods in many ways may seem unrelated, or at best unconcerned with the daily trials of the mortal realm. The exceptions do exist, however. Many historical records and legends point to the direct intervention of one or more gods at times of great need. Many heroic tales recount blessings of the divinity bestowed upon heroic figures who worked or quested for the good of a deity or the deity's temple. Some of the more powerful artifacts in the known world were originally bestowed upon their owners through such reward. It has also been reported that priests of high ranking in their temples may on occasion call upon their deity for blessings or help in time of need. The exact nature of such contact and the blessings bestowed is given to much speculation, as the temples hold such associations secret and holy. This direct contact gives way to the belief that the gods are aware of the mortal realm. In many circumstances, however, these same gods will do nothing in the face of suffering and death, seeming to feel no need to interfere. It is thus possible to conclude that we, as mortals, may not be capable of understanding more than a small fraction of the reasoning and logic such beings used. One defining characteristic of all gods and goddesses is their interest in worship and deeds. These, in the form of holy quests, are just one of the many things that bring the attention of a deity. Deeds in everyday life, by conforming to the statutes and obligations of individual temples, are commonly supposed to please the deity. Performance of a ceremony in a temple may also bring a deity's attention. Ceremonies vary accordingly to the individual deity. The results are not always apparent, but sacrifice and offerings are usually required to have any hope of gaining a deity's attention. While direct intervention in daily temple life has been recorded, the exact nature of the presence of a god in daily mundane life is a subject of controversy. A traditional saying of the Wood Elves is that one man's miracle is another man's accident. While some gods are believed to take an active part of daily life, others are well known for their lack of interest in temporal affairs. It has been theorized that gods do in fact gain strength from such things as worship through praise, sacrifice, and deed. It may even be theorized that the number of worshippers a given deity has may reflect on his overall position among the other gods. This my own conjecture garnered from the apparent ability of the larger temples to attain blessings and assistance from their god with greater ease than smaller religious institutions. There are reports of the existence of spirits in our world that have the same capacity to use the actions and deeds of mortals to strengthen themselves as do the gods. The understanding of the exact nature of such creatures would allow us to understand with more clarity the connection between a deity and the deity's worshippers. The implication of the existence of such spirits leads to the speculation that these spirits may even be capable of raising themselves to the level of a god or goddess. Matuso of the Imperial Seminary has suggested that these spirits may be the remains of gods and goddesses who through time lost all or most of their following, reverting to their earliest, most basic form. Practitioners of the old ways say that there are no gods, just greater and lesser spirits. Perhaps it is possible for all three theories to be true. Спасибо, бро, что удалил спамеры. Так, мы прокрались. Nerevar, Moon and Star. This is a selection from a series of monographs by various imperial scholars on Ashlander legends. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of outlanders from the west came to steal the land of Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and the war leader of the House people, but he honored the ancient spirits and the tribal law and became as one of us. So, when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors one clan under Moon and Star to honor the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the House people to fight a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many Dunmer tribesmen and housemen died at Red Mountain, the Dwemer were defeated and their evil magics destroyed, and the outlanders driven from their land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nerevar in secret, and setting themselves up as gods, neglected Nerevar's promises to the tribes. But it is said that Nerevar will come again with his ring and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring will make good his promises to the tribes, to honor the spirits and drive the outsiders from the land. И тут есть еще что-нибудь почитать, а? Что-то проходной двор, что ли? Hello. Южная башня. Холл.
Excuse me.
Он так подбежал ко мне, что подумал, что меня уже арестовывают. О, сморк.
go ahead, please.
Давай, Сморк.
Yes? You can't scare me. Oh, not now. Well done.
Не могу напугать орка, да ладно.
Really? You can't. Say, what nonsense. You're good.
Расскажи нам про город.
Do you know Ronald Germain? The fellow who lives on the west side of Coral?
Нет.
I saw him in Chedenol recently and said hi. He pretended he didn't know me. I was quite irritated. Haven't spoken to him since. But I wonder, was he really trying to be a fool? Or was something wrong?
Может, с тобой было что-то не так? Расскажи им слухи.
Ronald Germain has terrible memory. We've met many times, but when I saw him in Chedenol, he walked right past me, like we were strangers.
Расскажи нам про улики.
Huh. I don't remember seeing Channel or Orgnolf that entire evening. But then again, I stayed in my quarters most of the night. There was no point in going on my usual walk with all of the rain falling. As far as Channel and Orgnolf go, they seem fine to me. I only had a minor scrape with Orgnolf recently. I caught him drinking in the West Tower on the upper level. I told him if he didn't stop, I would tell the Countess. He just grumbled and agreed. He hasn't bothered me since.
Orok Groggoth mentioned he was in the castle that entire night because it had been raining, but didn't see Orgnolf or Chanel. Also, he mentioned he had caught Orgnolf drinking in the West Tower once, and he had threatened to tell the Countess about it. Orgnolf apparently stopped. I should continue questioning the suspects, the Countess recommended. Мне кажется, он врет. Хотя, может, Шанель врет. Он сказал, что весь день шел дождь. Шанель сказала, что дождя не было, и она наблюдала за звездами и даже рисовала карты. A children's annuate. The first ones were brothers, Anu and Pedome. They came into the void and time began. As Anu and Pedome wandered the void, the interplay of light and darkness created Nur. Both Anu and Pedome were amazed and delighted with her appearance, but she loved Anu and Pedome retreated from them in bitterness. Nur became pregnant, but before she gave birth, Pedome returned, professing his love for Nur. She told him that she loved only Anu, and Pedome beat her in rage. Anu returned, fought Pedome, and cast him outside time. Nur gave birth to creation, but died from her injury soon after. Anu, grieving, hid himself in the sun and slept. Meanwhile, life sprang up on the 12 worlds of creation and flourished. After many ages, Pedome was able to return to time. He saw creation and hated it. He swung his sword, shattering the 12 worlds in their alignment. Anu awoke and fought Pedome again. The long and furious battle ended with Anu the victor. He cast aside the body of his brother, who he believed was dead, and attempted to save creation by forming the remnants of the 12 worlds into one, Nirn, the world of Tamriel. As he was doing so, Pedome struck him through the chest with one last blow. Anu grappled with his brother and pulled them both outside of time forever. The blood of Pedome became the Daedra. The blood of Anu became the stars. The mingled blood of both became the Aedra, hence their capacity for good and evil and their greater affinity for earthly affairs than the Daedra, who have no connection to creation. On the world of Nirn, all was chaos. The only survivors of the 12 worlds of creation were the Elnofey and the Hist. The Elnofey are the ancestors of Mer and Man. The Hist are the trees of Argonia. Nirn originally was all land. with interspersed seas but no oceans. A large fragment of the Elnofey world landed on Nirn relatively intact, and the Elnofey living there were the ancestors of the Mer. These Elnofey fortified their borders from the chaos outside, hid their pocket of calm and attempted to live on as before. Other Elnofey arrived on Nirn, scattered amid the confused jumble of the shattered worlds, wandering and finding each other over the years. Eventually, the wandering Elnofey found the hidden land of Olden Elnofey and were amazed and joyful to find their kin living amid the splendor of ages past. The wandering Elnofey expected to be welcomed into the peaceful realm, but the old Elnofey looked on them as degenerates, fallen from their former glory. For whatever reason, war broke out and raged across the whole of Nirn. The old Elnofey retained their ancient power and knowledge, but the wanderers were more numerous and toughened by their long struggle to survive on Nirn. This war reshaped the face of Nirn, seeking much of the land beneath new oceans and leaving the land as we know them: Tamriel, Akavir, Atmora, and Yokuda. The old Elnofey realm, although ruined, became Tamriel. The remnants of the wanderers were left divided on the other three continents. Over many years, the Elnofey of Tamriel became the Mer elves, the Dwemer, the Deep Ones, sometimes called dwarves, the Kimmer, the Changed Ones, who later become the Dunmer, the Dark or Cursed One, the Dark Elves, the Bosmer, the Green or Forest Ones, the Wood Elves, and the Altmer, the Elder or High Ones, the High Elves. On the other continents, the wandering Elnofey became the Men, the Norse of Atmora, the Redguards of Yokuda, and the Tsaeski of Akavir. The Hist were bystanders in the Elnofey war, but most of their realm was destroyed as the war passed over it. A small corner of it survived to become Black Marsh in Tamriel, but most of their realm was sunk beneath the sea. Eventually, men returned to Tamriel. The Norse were the first colonizing the northern coast of Tamriel before recorded history, led by the legendary Ysgramor. The 13th of his line, King Harald, was the first to appear in written history, and so the mythic era ended. Познавательно. Золота тут нет. Так, это мы уже читали. Я думал, что кусочек бумаги, который был... То есть это считается, что мы тырим вещи. Просто скомканные куски бумаги. Ошибись. Так, а в твоих карманцах-то есть что-нибудь? Я расследователь. Какой criminal scam? Спасибо. Что здесь? Западная башня. Шанель. О, это ее комната. Это хорошо смотреть. Так, что у нас тут есть? The Book of Daedra, Manual of Spellcraft, Darkest Darkness, Galarian the Mystic. Ну, мы все это читали. Так, что это? А, это стол так оформлен. Чеснок. Так, тоже мы читали. У них много религиозной литературы, я смотрю. Почему не могу туда залезть? Что за... Это возмутительно. Я не могу залезть в этот стол. Может, мне улик не хватает? Весы. Так, мадам Алиби. Давайте я пороюсь в ваших штанах. Спасибо.
Two of the afternoon watch and all's well. All's well with you, sir? Take your time.
Я бы сказал, что да.
Goodbye. Welcome.
Так, походу мы здесь все облазили. Южная башня, западная башня. Так, квест говорит, что мы должны куда-то выбраться. Так, нам нужно искать еще подозреваемых. Ну, пошли искать еще подозреваемых. Чтобы выслеживать подозреваемых, надо красться. Подсказки говорят, чтобы я купил лошадь, если я хочу путешествовать быстрее. Я хочу путешествовать быстрее, но не хочу платить за это ни копейки.
Greetings, investigator.
Ого, я мистер Инвестигейтор. Hola. ¿Estás bien?
It's my pleasure. Please continue.
Тебе нравится мой
Tell
испанский?
me more.
Погнали.
Bye.
Этот зал ожидания меня забавляет, особенно вот эта лесенка, которая идет в стену. Да. Так, итак. Бараки. Так, что там за движуха наверху? Приветствую.
There's no problem, is there?
Не, никаких проблем. То, что у вас на столе стало меньше вещей, это абсолютно ни при чем.
Lots of dogs in this town. Lots of sheep, too. Of course, I prefer the taste of sheep. You see,
Хорош пялиться на меня. Пытаюсь перекусить. Вот тыковка.
what is it, sir?
Я прокинул стул за тебя.
Goodbye.
И что это было? Что мы прокинули-то?
Sir?
Чё они все спят? 30 дня. Ладно. Без проблем вообще. Проще обыскивать их сундуки за это. Ну, золотишко. Золотишко никогда не помешает. Я думал, найду здесь капитана стражи.
What seems to be the problem? Please, go on.
Они Спят, как будто они...
State your business.
Как будто у них только ночная
Yes.
смена, но в ночную смену я почти не вижу здесь стражников. Что за бред?
Good. Well, you're wasting your breath. No, I wish I. You're wasting your breath. That's what I would get away from me. You're. That's no. You. I wish I could say that. That's just. What? Not funny. Not even a little bit.
Ой, ему не смешно.
It's good to know we've got such a strong Fighters Guild presence here in town.
Олеся Отос считает, что плевать. Что гильдия борцов ничем здесь не помогает.
Tell me more. Take care. We're here to help.
Ой, испугался, что игра
Go ahead.
может зависнуть.
Don't. You're what? Yeah, I get it. Oh, please. Not. Don't try. Gracious. What a hero. Don't. Gracious. That's just good one. Such adventures. How I. That's just. That. Not now. Not later. Not ever. Farewell.
Мне кажется, зря я его сейчас поднял, что мы с ним уже
Sir.
болтали. Судя
Tell
по
me
его
more.
хмылке. Да.
Goodbye.
О. Bitnell the Curse Bringer. Давай обыщем его карманцы. Блин. Что это за столпотворение тут вообще?
I'm Bitnell, the Curse Bringer, captain of the Coral Guard. What can I do for you?
Ну у тебя и рот, чувак.
Yes?
Давай повысим твою диспозицию.
You got... Sorry, I don't get it. I don't... Sorry. Such adventure. You win this one. Sorry. Gracious. What? You... What nonsense. You... It's just not funny.
Не смешно, да? Расскажи нам про город тогда.
There are a lot of fine-looking women in Coral, but they're all kind of snooty and not very nice.
Слухи, слухи.
You know, Bongond has some fine horses for sale over at the Grey Mare. Too bad he's such a pushy man.
Улики.
I'm sorry, I wasn't in that evening. I was making my rounds of Coral. The only odd occurrence lately was with Channel. I have seen her spending a lot of time in the West Tower. When I asked her about it, she said it involved her spell research. I suppose at the time it sounded good enough for me.
Bitnell, the captain of the guard, said he had been out on patrol in the streets of Coral that night. In addition, he mentioned seeing Chanel spend a good deal of time in the castle's West Tower. But when he had confronted her about it, she said that was where she had been performing some of her magic research. I should continue questioning the subjects the Countess recommended.
My
Okay.
pleasure, really.
Нам нужно алкаша найти.
You again.
В чем твоя проблема, а?
So, you a living statue, or are you gonna say something?
О, я статуя.
I'm listening.
Я большая статуя кота.
That's a bit excessive. Oh, that's enough. You win this. That's great. I doubt you really mean that. That's
О,
not bad.
я это имел в виду. Расскажи нам про город.
Coral's got plenty to eat, good thick walls, and that suits me fine. I don't know what's going on out there in the woods, and I don't need to.
Расскажи нам про картину.
Aye, it was a fine portrait of a fine man.
Окей, хоть какое-то описание. Наконец-то. Так. Давай поговорим про расследование.
So, the Countess hired you to find the painting, eh? Well, you'll not find it by gawking at me.
Это чё еще почему-то? Ладно, расскажи нам про улики.
The night of the theft, I was in the Great Hall, having an argument with a delivery boy from Braville. It seems his horse lost its footing in the heavy rain we had that night, and the shipment of port that it was carrying slipped to the ground. Oh, the fall broke most of the bottles. He didn't want to claim responsibility, but I gave him what for and sent him away. After that, I spent the rest of the night in my quarters, reading.
Так, уже 2 человека сказали, что дождило, и Шанель пока что врет. Но тварь. When I asked about the night in question, Orgnolf told me that he spent a bit of time arguing with a delivery boy in the Great Hall who had a bit of an accident with a wine shipment in the rain, then spent the rest of the night in his room. I've spoken to all of the possible suspects and witnesses. Now I should concentrate on gathering the clues if I am to solve the crime.
Back to work for poor Orgnolf.
Бедный Оргнольф. Ну что ж, нам не подсказывают, где собирать улики, поэтому, наверное, пойдем сюда. А может быть, пойдем. Пойдем.
Any luck yet?
Что мы ищем? Мы ищем золото. Что нам еще искать? Ингредиенты тоже пойдут. О, починка. Корень мандрагоры. Ой, еще то, чем можно починить. Так, 4 часа дня. Так, у меня есть идея. Нам нужно вернуться и купить мебель для нашего дома, потому что мы можем туда припереться, и все, что увидим там, это голые стены. А нам нужен гребаный сундук.
I haven't been in a while, but it's always nice to stop in and chat with Rashida. Plus, well met.
Так, что у нас тут? Grey Mare? Нет. Fire and Steel. Так, должен быть квест вообще про мебель. I just bought a house in Coral. It's on the main plaza and back up against the chapel. Так, то есть он в принципе мог стоить. Ни черта себе, это наш дом? Охренеть. Now that I've arrived at my new house in Coral, I may want to head over to Sydney's at Northern Goods and trade to secure some furnishings for it. Это охрененный дом. Еще лучше, чем в Бруме. Наверное. В нем даже комната есть. Здорово. Он не такой большой, как я надеялся, но классно. Нет, он вообще довольно большой. Мне нравится, мне нравится. Он того стоил 20 тысяч. Так, теперь нужна мебель. Мы, конечно, можем играть роль мебели, но, к сожалению, одной позиции очень мало. Привет. А чем их-то Ласма так бесит? Она такая прикольная. Котярка.
Welcome to the Oak Enclosure. This one is Talisma, your hostess. Our rooms and food are at your disposal.
Милашка.
Tell me more. Well done. No more. You're frightening me.
Расскажи нам про город.
The Oak Enclosure is the place of choice for well-bred visitors to Coral. The Grey Mare is more suitable for others.
О, да, я согласен.
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Так, кажется, мы нашли, что мы будем покупать. Так, давай поторгуемся. Возьмем, скажем, 66%. Давай попробуем тебя купить. Свининки. Нормально. 67.
An excellent deal.
О, да.
A fine bargain for you.
68%, давай.
You bought that for a song.
Давай попробуем 69 на продаже.
An excellent deal.
О,
I wouldn't make that deal with just anybody. An excellent deal.
но я ведь не просто anybody. Отлично, 70% это очень хороший процент на продаже.
You're a fine negotiator.
Наверное, надо было назваться Negotiator.
You drive a hard bargain.
Так, но мебель точно не здесь закупается. Меня кто-то обманул.
You're
Здесь мы закупаем ингредиенты, это хорошо. Будет что варить, будет чем торговать. Интересно, можно условия еще улучшить? Лучший враг хорошего, конечно, да. О,
pleasure doing business with you.
кот кота понимает. Точнее, кошка кота понимает. Таким образом, здесь чуть ли не лучшие цены у нас. 71%, 71% на продажу. Это... Мы точно такую же выгоду получаем у алхимички. Еще в Новороме.
You bought. You drive.
Да, я введу You Drive. Что мой кот не пьет. В отличие от многих. Pleasure. Фух. Блин, у нее денег не так уж и много. Мы еще не докачались до того уровня, чтобы можно было инвестировать в магазины. Бай. Хорошая котяра. А мими густо. Ого.
It's my pleasure. Please continue.
Ящеры.
Tell me more.
Расскажи нам про мать.
My mother owns this shop. She would be glad of your business.
О, расскажи нам слухи.
Have you seen Valis O'Deal recently? Spends all day in the tavern since his boys left.
Нет, я даже не знаю о ком ты. Ну ладно, спасибо.
I heard you know how to move in light armor.
От кого ты это услышал? Я здесь вообще новенький.
Only the finest wares to buy and barter at Northern Goods and Trades. I'm Cednius, the proprietor. How can I help you?
Так, во-первых, нам нужно
Please,
повысить
go
отношения
on.
с тобой.
You're pathetic.
Pathetic.
You can't scare
Pepe
me.
point.
That's great. How's it go again? That you're full of it.
Full of shit. Расскажи нам про город.
If I don't have what you need, you might try the other coral merchants. Renoir's has books, fire and steel for your armor and weapons.
Расскажи нам про Джоффре.
An old cleric with that name comes in now and then. Lives southeast of town on the Black Road at Waynon Priory.
Ты нам доверяешь, чтобы рассказать вот так вот, где живет чел? Ну ладно. Слухи.
I saw Reyna Briant talking to her dogs the other day. I think she thinks they understand her.
Собаки ее понимают. Так.
You've got a lot to learn.
О. Поднимаем
I'm
навыки
willing to
торговли.
teach if you're willing to learn. Good that you want to get better.
Mercantile skill increased. Negotiation, bargaining, dickering, haggling. They're all a means to an end. Getting the best price for your goods. You're now a journeyman of mercantile. You can buy and sell any object to any vendor, even if they normally do not deal in that type of wares. Клево. То есть теперь я вообще могу что угодно продавать всем. Независимо. О, клево.
Pay attention, and you can learn a lot.
Да.
Good that you want to get better.
Я очень хочу стать
Have a
лучше.
look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Ботинки быстрого торговца. Mercantile speechcraft and speed. Слабость к болезням и к ядам. Офигеть. Так, давай улучшим условия сделки. Скажем, 70% на продажу. Не знаю, нафига, но... Столько доэдрических кинжалов, это ужас. Так, сработало. 71.
A fine transaction.
А, fine transaction. Oh yeah. А 72. Блин. Нормуль.
That's a fair deal.
Давай еще повысим. Чисто по-дружески. А давай еще повысим. Сначала я тебе что-нибудь куплю. House bedroom area.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Нужна кроватка. 74%. Поехали. Так, сначала продажи. Потестить. Хорошо. 75%.
I can't do that.
Ляды.
You drive a hard bargain.
Так, столовку купили. Апгрейд столовки. Кухня.
That's a good deal.
Так. Холсты. Так. Точнее эти. Картины. Что? У меня прислуга будет?
You drive a hard bargain.
А кто им платить
I
будет?
wouldn't make that deal with just anybody.
Ну, кабинет. Клево. Слушай, мы у тебя еще все молотки купим. Цены-то хорошие.
You're
Проклятие.
you're a fine negotiator.
Чё себе? Сколько мы бабла потратили? 45 тысяч. Нормально.
You bought that for a song.
Ну что ж, продаемся.
And you got a great deal there.
Одну мы себе оставим. Непонятно зачем, но оставим. Так. Ламбик для новичков. Продаем.
An excellent bargain.
О, да.
That seems a fair price.
Сколько всяких ингредиентов. Мы можем столько всего приготовить. Аж глаза разбегаются. Держи кристаллический
You
шар.
made a good bit of gold. That's a fair deal.
Волчья шкурка. Держи, держи. Хотя я себе оставлю.
Come back and see me again.
Если у тебя будет еще мебель, то приду.
I'm willing to teach if you're willing to learn.
Что тут
You've got a
написано?
lot to
You
learn.
have reached your training limit for your current level. Ага, значит нам нужно повысить себе уровень, прежде чем мы сможем. Buying a house in Coral. I've now bought everything Sidneas has for my house in Coral.
A visitor, yes.
Oh yes.
You have the hands of a healer.
Hands of a healer. Я вообще не ожидал, что у нас дом такой будет большой. Тем более в центральной площади. Так, вообще говоря, это наше барахло. Слушайте, а дом-то классный. О, вот эта обстановочка. Она того стоила. Ну, может, немножко дороже, чем я ожидал, но все-таки классно же. Можно принимать гостей, выдавать им дешевейшее вино, а самому побухивать этот Amika's West Wild Wine. Жаль, что это не рояль. Картины. Эта лестничная шахта жрет только место в этом доме. Даже гостевая комната есть. Argonian Account. Book 2. Так, теперь надо найти контейнер, который будет служить нам... Вот. Этот сундук будет служить нам нашим хранилищем. Может, конечно, на первом этаже что-нибудь есть. Далеко не ходить. О, ингредиенты. Ну вот. Все, мы нашли, куда складывать вещи. Прекрасно. Что, бочки. Ну и можно в бочку кидать все. Да. Зайдет сюда любой реальный персонаж и воскликнет: срать негде. Как это срать негде? Выйдут сюда, вот здесь даже крыша есть. Единственное, с чем я согласен, это в случае, вот то, что ты описываешь, это то, что... Ё-моё, это все мое. Это то, что здесь негде принять ванну. Хотя в городе должна быть, не знаю, баня. Гачи-баня. Exacto sacrifice. Нет. Нет. Нернрут мы не будем готовить. Пока не выполним квест. Проклятие. Ё-моё. Что ж с ним такое? А чё он лезет постоянно? Аж 5 неймпоушенов. $92 восстановления. Fatigue. Выносливости. Restore health. Все, кроме одного. Силушки. Похищение. Ничего себе у нас тут. Может, поломанный. Нам нужно 8 выкинуть. Нет, стоп, не 8. Нам нужно выкинуть 18. Так-то лучше. Где органианка? Нам нужно ей продать все барахло. Не то.
Well met.
Well met.
May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Так, время продавать.
And a good, a fine transaction.
Transaction. Transaction.
A fine, that, you got a great deal there.
О, навыки торговли повышаются.
That seems a fair price. You've made a good bit of gold.
Вот теперь хорошая сумма денег.
That's...
Ладно. Terrifying presence.
Thank you. Come again. Pay attention.
Спасибо, что научила нас торговаться. Конечно, играет против нее, но... А может и для нее. В конце концов, мы тоже точно не знаем. Так, продолжаем расследование. Теперь можно продолжать действительно расследование. Темнеет, красивая погода. Северная башня. Обыскать место. Обыскать все контейнеры. О, голд. Здесь много чего есть, но это все приобретет статус украдено. Спасибо за золото. Анонимный пожертвователь. Что это за клетки? Кто их сюда принес? Их что оттуда выпустили? Только не говорите, что мне придется с ним сражаться. Бараки. Чё нет? О, можем поспать в чужой кровати. Круто. Да, ходите в стенку. Я пока всем займусь.
A pleasure to meet you again. Fare thee well.
Greetings, investigator.
There's no problem, is there?
Вообще без проблем. Расскажи нам про Битнелл the Cursebringer.
He's captain of the Coral Guard. During the day, you can usually find him on patrol with us around the city.
Спасибо.
Bye.
Бай. Так, мы вообще можем использовать фонарик. Потому что ни от кого не прячемся, мы проводим расследование официально. Да, это снова я.
Hello again. I hope your search for the painting goes well.
Ты что нам соврала, а?
Until your return.
Вот склад. О, молоточек. Молоточек нам очень пригодится. Вот золото. Необычная картина. Но это не портрет. I found an interesting painting in a concealed area of the West Tower. It seems someone in the castle is a painter. I think I should continue looking for more clues. Блин. С винишком. Спасибо. Что у нас еще здесь за локации есть? Ого! Опрокинуто. Это все мое. Я могу из этого готовить тут на продажу. Золотишко. Кисточки. Значит ли это, что мы вышли на нашего анонимного художника? Мне тут хватает закуси. Так, теперь пойдем в западную башню. Ой, фу, в восточную башню.
Well met.
Отсюда.
Welcome to the great hall of Castle Cork, Milord.
Well met.
Милорд, это я. Только не говорите потом, амбар пуст, сир. А что, кто-то может догадаться, что амбар пуст, потому что все было закинуто в алхимию. Упс, я что спер, ля-ля-ля-ля-ля. Называется клептомания. Еще ремонтный молоточек. Отмычка. Еще отмычка. На месте своего персонажа я бы задумался. Возможно, мы нашли место, где планировалось как раз вот это грабление века.
Hello, Milord.
Well met.
Не похоже, что мы здесь найдем какие-либо улики. Ну, как говорится, надо все сначала обыскать. Хорошую запасец-то, а? Кукурузка. Мука. Тут чипсы можно делать. Не все Оргнолов обвиняют, но при этом сами жрут как сволочи. Это я.
Yes?
Something I can help. Take care.
Что это?
Hello. A pleasure to meet.
Что ты тут делаешь? Подкладываешь улики, небось?
You? Oh, it's Valga's errand boy. How goes the big, important investigation?
Что ты идешь себе как кусок говна?
Back to work for poor old Orgnall.
Hello again. Until your return.
У нее хорошо обставлена комната. Картины есть. Может, она и есть тот самый художник.
Hello. Until your return.
Greetings, Kachi. Good to see you.
Greetings, investigator.
You again?
Stop right there, criminal!
What do you think you're doing? Guards! Pickpocket!
Damn it. Капец. The 5 songs of King Wulfharth, short song. The first song of King Wulfharth is ancient, circa first era 500, after the defeat of Alessian army at Glenumbria Moors, where King Hoag Merkiller was slain. Wulfharth of Atmora was elected by the Pact of Chieftains. His Thu'um was so powerful that he could not verbally swear into the office, and scribes were used to draw up his oaths. Immediately thereafter, the scribes wrote down the first new law of his reign, a fiery reinstatement of the traditional Nordic pantheon. The edicts were outlawed, their priests put to the stake, and their halls set ablaze. The shadow of King Borgath had ended for a span. For his zealotry, King Wulfharth was called Short-Tongue, and Ismir, Dragon of the North. Kind Son. The second song of King Wulfharth glorifies his deeds in the eyes of the old gods. He fights the eastern orcs and shouts their chief into hell. He rebuilds the 418th step of High Hrothgar, which had been damaged by a dragon. When he swallowed a thundercloud to keep his army from catching cold, the Norse called him the Breath of Kine. Old Knocker. The third song of King Wulfharth tells of his death. Orki, as enemy god, had always tried to ruin the Norse, even in Etmora, where he saw their years away. Seeing the strength of King Wulfharth, Orki summoned the ghost to Falduin Time Eater again. Nearly every Nord was eaten down to 6 years old. Boy Wulfharth pleaded to Shor, the dead chieftain of the gods, to help his people. Shor's own ghost then fought the Time Eater on the spirit plane, as he did at the beginning of time, and he won, and Orki's folk, the orcs, were ruined. As boy Wulfharth watched the battle in the sky, he learned a new Thuum, what happens when you shake the dragon just so. He used this new magic to change his people back to normal. In his haste to save so many, though, he shook too many years out on himself. He grew older than the Greybeards and died. The flames of his pyre were said to have reached the hearth of Hine itself. The Ash King. The fourth song of King Wulfharth tells of his rebirth. The dwarves and devils of the eastern kingdoms had started to fight again, and the Norse hoped they might reclaim their ancient holdings there because of it. They planned an attack, but then gave up, knowing that they had no strong king to lead them. Then in walked the devil of Dagoth, who swore he came in peace. Moreover, he told the Norse a wondrous thing. He knew where the heart of Shor was. Long ago the chief of the gods had been killed by elven giants, and they ripped out Shor's heart and used it as a standard to strike fear into the Norse. This worked until Ysgramor shouted some sense, and the Norse fought back again. Knowing that they were going to lose eventually, the elven giants hid the heart of Shor so that the Norse might never have their god back. But here was the devil of Dagoth with good news. The dwarves and devils of the Eastern Kingdom had his heart, and this was the reason for their recent unrest. The Norse asked the devils of Dagoth why he might betray his countrymen, so he said that the devils have betrayed each other since the beginning of time, and this was so, and so the Norse believed him. The tongue sung Shor's ghost into the world again. Shor gathered an army as he did of old, and then he sucked in the long-strewn ashes of King Wulfharth and remade him, for he needed a good general. But the devil of Dagoth petitioned to be that general too, and he pointed out his role as the blessed harbinger of this holy war. So Shor had two generals, the Ash King and the devil of Dagoth, and he marched on the eastern kingdoms with all the sons of Skyrim. Red Mountain. The fifth song of King Wulfharth is sad. The survivors of the disaster came back under a red sky. That year is called Sun's Death. The devil of Dagoth had tricked the Nords, for the heart of Shor was not in the eastern kingdoms and had never been there at all. As soon as Shor's army had got to Red Mountain, all the devils and dwarves fell upon them. Their sorcerers lifted the mountain and threw it onto Shor, trapping him underneath Red Mountain until the end of time. They slaughtered the sons of Skyrim, but not before King Wulfharth killed King Dumalaketh and Dwarfork, and doomed his people. Then Vek the devil blasted the Ash King into hell, and it was over. Later, Kain lifted the ashes of Ysmir into the sky, saving him from hell and showing her sons the color of blood when it is brought by betrayal. And the Norse will never trust another devil again. The secret song of Wulfharth Ash King, the truth at Red Mountain. The heart of Shor was in Resdain, as Dagoth had promised. As Shor's army approached the westernmost bank of the inner sea, they stared across at Red Mountain, where the Dwemer armies had gathered. News from the scouts reported that the Chimeri forces had just left Narsis, and that they were taking their time joining the cousins against the Nords. Dagoth said that the tribunal had betrayed their king's trust, that they sent Dagoth to Lorkhan, for that it is what they called Shor in Resdain, so that the god might wreak vengeance on the dwarves for their hubris. That Neverwar's peace with the Dwemer would be the ruin of the Velothi way. This was the reason for the Slow Master, Dagoth said. The armies grow, and Lorkhan, for that is what they called Shor in Resdain, said, I do not wreak vengeance on the dwarves for the reasons that the tribunal might believe I do. Nevertheless, it is true that they will die by my hand, and any whoever should side with them. This Nerevar is the son of Boethia, one of the strongest Pedumakes. He is a hero to his people despite his tribunal, and he shall muster enough that this battle will be harder going still. We will need more than what we have. And so Dagoth Ur, who wanted the dwarves as dead as the tribunal did, went to Goren and sound his house Chaptil, his Nixhounds, his wizards, archers, his stolen men of brass, and the Ash King Wulfharth, Hori Izmir, went and made peace with the orcs in spite of his Nordic blood. They brought many warriors but no wizards at all. Many Norse could not bring themselves to ally with their traditional enemies, even in the face of Red Mountain. They were close to desertion. Then Wulfharth said, "Don't you see where you really are? Don't you know who Shor really is? Don't you know what this war is?" And they looked from the king to the god to the devils and orcs, and some knew, really knew, and they are the ones that stayed. The Doom Drum. Nerevar carried Keening, a dagger made of the sound of the shadow of the moons. His champions were Dumak, Dwarf King, who carried a hammer of divine mass, and Elandra Sul, who was the immortal son of Azura and wore the Wraith Mail. They met Lorkhan at the last battle of Red Mountain. Lorkhan had his heart again, but he had long been from it, and he needed time. Wulfharth met Sul but could not strike him, and he fell from grievous wounds, but not before shouting Sul blind. Dagoth Ur met Dumak and slew him, but not before Thunder struck his lord's heart. Nerevar turned away from Lorkhan and struck down Dagoth Ur in rage, but he took a mortal wound from Lorkhan in turn. But Nerevar feigned the death that was coming early, and so struck Lorkhan with surprise on his side. The heart had been made solid by Thunder's tuning blow, and Keening could now cut it out, and it was cut out, and Lorkhan was defeated, and the whole ordeal was thought over. Watermelon. Some ingredients. Who owns this bed? It's not one of the countess.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm stealing your gold. Get my cash back options. Right, I'm a bit stoned right now. Так что, ну, stoned это означает, что я просто кусок мебели. Так что всем спасибо, кто был сегодня с нами вечером. Я надеюсь, вам понравилось. Также я надеюсь, что мы найдем настоящего вора картин. Так что я всем желаю спокойной ночи. Если вам понравилось видео, вот, если вам понравился стрим, пожалуйста, подписывайтесь на канал. Надеюсь, вам дальше будет весело. Мы сейчас попробуем грабануть герцогиню еще раз. Я желаю всем спокойной ночи и до следующего раза. В надежде, что следующий раз будет скоро. И на этом наш сегодняшний стрим закончен. Полагаю, нет смысла тырить у нее деньги, потому что она не позволяет ничего стырить. Pickpocket. Ладно. Еще раз спасибо. Всем пока.